Hello there, welcome to Yoga with Sacha. Today we're going to be taking a look at a short sequence to help you take care of your knees. So obviously if you've got any medical condition with your knees, check in with your doctor before you do this sequence. But know that all of the poses that I'm introducing today help to improve the strength and flexibility of the knees and the muscles that support the knees. So go ahead and get into something comfy and I will see you on the mat. Namaste. So a quick note before we begin, if you happen to have a yoga block, then go ahead and grab it. In fact, if you've got 2 yoga blocks, even better. As an alternative, what you can do is roll up a towel and you can use that to support you as you go through a couple of these poses, if you wish. Certainly not essential, but if you have these items, pause the video and go and grab them. So where we can begin is by coming down onto our backs. We're going to come to Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, half bridge pose. If you've been following my videos, you'll know that we do this one quite a lot. It's a great pose. So we can begin by bringing our heels until they're about in line with our fingers, our fingertips. Spreading out your toes, getting a good center of gravity, and making sure that your feet are in line with your hips and your knees are in line with your hips. So we don't want to be coming into it like this or like this. We want everything to be kind of on train tracks. If you have a block or a rolled up towel, you can place it between your knees and you can really squeeze down onto this. The next thing we're going to do is to press down through the palms of our hands and then to gently start lifting up from the very base of our spine until we come up kind of onto our shoulders. So if you're not doing this with a prop, then make sure that your knees are staying in line with your hips. This is really important. This is what's good for the knees. It can actually be quite an intense stretch for the knees, so go gently, breathe deeply, take it at a pace that works for you. You can really allow your belly to fill up as if it were a balloon as you inhale. And allow your belly button to drop towards your spine on your exhale. Keep pressing through the legs if you're holding a block. Keep those knees in line with your ankles, with your hips. Try and relax your glutes, relax the muscles around your butt, your lower back. And as you exhale, rolling down off the shoulders and coming down as slowly and as mindfully as you can. Taking a moment to just rest. In fact, you can even bring your arms over your head here and just have a little stretch through the back. And if this feels okay, then we can get into another one. So pressing your arms down by your sides, spreading your fingers, pressing through your hands. Most importantly, pressing through your feet to lift up your lower back, starting vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling all the way up your spine. Keeping squeezing that block through the legs. Pressing through the feet, squeezing through the inner thighs, relaxing your glutes. If you want to take this a little bit deeper, this time you can clasp your fingers and roll up even higher onto your shoulders. Only do that if it's accessible and comfortable for you. Otherwise, stay with your breath. Keep lifting your hips. Sending your breath all the way down to your knees. Exhaling, unclasping your fingers, rolling off your shoulders, coming down vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing the spine all the way down to the mat. Again, taking a moment to just rest it here. Okay, if you're ready, we can come into one more variation of this. This time we can inhale, lifting the hips, and this time grabbing the block away from your knees. You can place it underneath you, either the tall way, so you get a deeper stretch through your hips, through your lower back, or if this isn't accessible, you can do the side way, or even the bottom. If you're on a towel, then just place your rolled up towel underneath you. It's a beautiful way to come into this. That's really nice and supportive. So still aim to keep your knees in line with your hips here. You can also do this pose on a bolster if you have one, or some cushions. So again, breathing real deep here. Taking one more deep inhalation. And with your next exhalation, gently moving the block or the towel or the cushions away from your lower back. Rolling down the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Here we can walk the feet out towards the edge of the mat and drop our knees together, just supporting our lower back. You can roll over onto one side, and however it feels best for you, make your way over and up to a downward facing dog. You can pedal our feet here. Gently allowing our heels to drop down towards the ground, lengthening through the spine. Keeping our ears in line with our arms. Pressing down through the whole surface of your hands, lifting your tailbone up towards the sky, and then pressing your heels back to the mat. As you inhale, you can walk your feet forwards, coming to stand towards the front of your mat. We're going to come to a forward fold here, so spreading out your toes, allowing your head to be loose. You can actually lift up the kneecaps, engaging the muscles directly above your kneecaps to slightly lift them, even as you fall forwards. You can also keep a little micro bend in the knees. A lot of people have hyperextended knees, and this is where if you straighten your legs, it will almost look like they're bowing backwards a little bit. You can even check this in a mirror and see if this applies to you, because I would say at least 10%, maybe more of the people that I've taught yoga classes to have hyperextended knees. So check this out if you're wanting to really take care of your knees. And keep a bend in your knees is the way to resolve this. Resolve yourself from overextending those muscles, your hamstrings. So bending your knees and inhaling to come all the way up to standing. You can reach up to the sky and bring your hands down to your heart center. So from here, you can bring your feet directly under your hips, hip width apart. So your little toes want to be in line with the outside edges of your hips. You can bring your hands to your heart, and then keeping your eyes on your feet and on your knees, bend your knees to come down towards chair pose, Utkatasana. So the key thing here, if we want this to be beneficial for our knees, is to keep the weight on top of our legs. If you're feeling this in your knee joint, then back it up a little bit and play with the balance of your weight, whether or not it's over your toes or your heels, until you can feel the tops of your thighs engaging. And we can play with this. So you can either keep your hands in your heart center if you want a slightly easier variation, or if you want a slightly more difficult variation, bringing your arms up to the sky. And as you inhale, straightening, lengthening up to mountain pose, lifting your kneecaps. And as you exhale, bending your knees, making sure that you can see your big toes over through the insides of your knees. You can tuck your tailbone under slightly here, sitting down into the chair as deeply as you like, and then inhaling to come back up again. Exhaling, keeping those knees tracking in a straight line, making sure you can see your big toes through the center, through the middle of your knees. Making sure you can feel this in your thighs, not in the knee joint. Coming down to do this one more time. And this time we're going to hold it. So breathing deep in your Utkatasana. Pressing down through the full surface area of both your feet. Keeping your knees in correct alignment. Making sure that you can see your big toes. Feeling it in your thighs, sitting down as deeply as feels good to you, and you don't have to come super deep here. You might feel the benefits of this pose, even just coming a tiny bit here. You definitely want to listen to your body, especially if you've got sensitive knees at the moment, so take it at your pace and do it in the way that feels good to you. As you inhale, coming all the way up, mountain pose. Lifting your kneecaps here, tucking your tailbone under, bringing your hands to your heart center. Deep inhale as you exhale, folding forwards, forward bend, Uttanasana. Keeping the knees soft here, allowing your head to completely relax, your neck to completely relax. Bringing a gentle movement, a little yes, a little no. With the head. Inhaling, coming up halfway with a flat back. Exhaling, forward, down again. Keeping the knees bent, keeping the knees soft. Inhaling, coming up all the way to standing, reaching overhead. Bringing hands down to heart center. This time stepping up and back with the right foot. We're going to come into a little warrior pose. So what we want to make sure here, first of all, is that we're finding a good stance. We want our heel to be in line with the inner arch of our back foot. We want to bring our arms up to shoulder height, and then we want to bend our front knee, keeping it on top of our ankle. So you want to make sure again that you can see your big toe on the inside of your knee. You want to press through the outer edge of your back foot and engage, lift the muscles above your left kneecap if you can find them. We're going to inhale, coming out of the pose, exhale, watching that knee, tracking it over the ankle. Inhale, backing it up, exhaling and dropping it down. Inhaling, up, exhaling, back to warrior two. Holding this pose. So depending on where you're at today, you can walk your back foot out if you feel like a deeper stretch, or you can walk it in if you feel it's a bit too much. So it's going to be gentler on your body and easier on your knees the closer you have your feet together. So find the workout that you need today. Strengthening the muscles above your knee really in this pose. Bending the back knee as you inhale, bring your back foot in halfway, 3/4, all the way up to the front. Allowing your arms to relax, placing your hands onto your hips, stepping up and back, this time with the left foot. Coming again into a warrior two. So finding that alignment of the heel, the inner arch. I'm going to shift my foot forwards just a little bit. Inhaling, lifting the arms, bending your knee over your front ankle. Inhaling, bringing it back. Exhaling, coming back into the pose. Inhaling and lengthening the leg. Exhaling, dropping into the pose. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, tracking that knee in a really straight line. This time you can hold it. So we want our hips to be facing the side of your mat here. Really turning out from the hips. Again, walking your foot either back or forwards, your back foot, to find the variation of this pose that works for you. Breathing deep. Again, sending the breath all the way down to your knees. Finally, inhaling, lengthening your legs, softening the back knee, walking it in halfway, 3/4, all the way up to the front of your mat. Perfect. We're going to make our way down through forward fold, pressing down through our hands, walking our feet back to downward facing dog. So not staying here for too long, enjoying this pose. And then we have a couple of options, depending on the sensitivity of your knees at the moment. If they feel okay, we can come into the hero's pose. Actually, we're going to bring the feet apart. You can either come to sit on your heels, that's one variation, or you can bring your feet apart and either sit on a block or two if that feels good to you, or even sit without a block. So this is a deep, deep bend in the knee joint, very much lengthening through the front of the kneecaps. We want to be sitting up tall here, whichever variation we do, but this is a deep stretch. So go gently with it, listen to your body. If this is right for you right now, it can be an amazing one to alleviate knee pain. But depending on the condition of your knees, it can also maybe be a bit too much. So if this feels too much for you right now, you can either decrease the angle in your knees by coming to sit on blocks or a rolled up towel, coming up higher, or you can come to a completely different pose. You might want to come back to the half bridge pose that we started with. So feeling that deep stretch through the front of your knees. Sitting up tall. You can inhale the shoulders up. Exhale the shoulders down the spine. Take a moment to close your eyes. Inhaling, coming out of the pose, making your way forwards. You can come down to lie on your back for your Shavasana. So you can either do the variation with your feet wide, dropping your knees together, or I invite you to come and lie in Shavasana, place the blocks or roll up towel underneath your knees, keeping that little bend. So closing your eyes here. As you inhale, I invite you to visualize that you're sending a white light down through your body, through the whole of your body, but especially focusing around your knees. Sending gratitude that you have these amazing joints that enable you to move in so many ways. And sending positive energy and healing to them if they're not feeling 100% at the moment. So I hope you've enjoyed this session. If you're dealing with knee sensitivity, then you can come back to this video maybe on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis, or you can do it before the rest of your practice. Incorporate some of these poses into your day. I hope that you found this helpful. If you're enjoying these videos, feel free to subscribe, share or like these videos. And thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.